Junk food, stress, illness, doctor, diet, pills, junk food, stress, death. It's a vicious cycle until you die. We think we know how to break it. Vegetable oil instead of lard, plenty of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and a lot less meat. It all sounds so reasonable, doesn't it? The question is, why does it sound reasonable? Do you really have enough knowledge of nutrition to decide if that advice makes sense? Probably not. You probably don't even think about it. But your doctor says it makes sense. They must have knowledge of nutrition. They went to medical school. But when 109 medical schools responded to a survey in 2009, 3/4 of those schools did not have a course dedicated to nutrition. So what are the chances doctors really know what they are talking about when it comes to what you eat? Not so good. A lot of the advice your doctor gives you on nutrition comes from the USDA. That's a government agency, so they must know what they're talking about. Here is the USDA's latest food pyramid. Take a close look. It says a lot. Canned fruits and vegetables, canned meat, slices of processed cheese. Where do you think the USDA gets their advice? Food. Let's face it, it's kind of important. Without it, we'd all get really hungry. But food does more than just stave off hunger and help our bodies grow. Food can act like a drug. It can affect how our brains work. Ever wonder why some foods seem positively addictive? Well, that's because they are. Take the most basic food in the Western diet, wheat. It's everywhere. Bread, pastas, gravies, fillers in canned food, even medicines. The thing that makes wheat so special is gluten, the sticky protein that holds bread and pasta together. It's not just coincidence that the word gluten sounds like glue. Gluten is the Latin word for glue. But gluten does more than hold your spaghetti together. When you digest it, it breaks down into chemicals called opioids that are a lot like morphine. So when you eat bread or pasta, your stomach gets full and your brain gets a hit of a very powerful drug. Maybe that explains why we like it so much. But like morphine, the good feeling we get from wheat comes at a cost. For many people, wheat causes dramatic changes in their brains. Some people even become psychotic when they eat wheat. Of course, most of them won't be diagnosed with a food problem. Instead, they'll be given drugs to counteract the effect of their sandwich when all they really needed to do was put down the sandwich. Milk is another gluey food. Literally. Casein, the protein in milk that holds cheese together, is used to make glues, paints, and plastics. You can make your own plastic from milk at home. Just add some vinegar to milk, scoop up the casein that floats to the top, form it, and let it dry. Now, like gluten, casein breaks down into opioids, similar to morphine, which might explain why kids like pizza so much. Something kids don't like are vegetables, and maybe there's a good reason for that. For all of the vitamins and minerals that are in vegetables, there are also chemicals called lectins that can make you very sick. The lectins in just 5 castor beans can kill an adult. Most vegetables contain lectins that are bad for the human body. The lectins in wheat stick to the cells of your intestines, which can lead to leaky gut syndrome. They travel in your bloodstream, sticking to other cells in your body, causing autoimmune reactions like rheumatoid arthritis. Now, you won't hear any of this from the FDA, USDA, or your doctor. They're too busy telling you to eat more wheat and vegetables and to drink more milk, which benefits the large food corporations that mass produce wheat and vegetables and milk, and the pharmaceutical corporations that make drugs to counteract the effects of wheat and vegetables and milk. Don't think those corporations have a say in what government tells you about nutrition? Well, just ask Margaret Miller. She worked for Monsanto developing recombinant bovine growth hormone, or RBGH, then worked for the FDA to approve Monsanto's RBGH. Or ask Michael Taylor, or Marcia Hale, or many, many others who move between big agriculture and government. The job of all of these people is to make sure that the advice you are given about nutrition benefits big food corporations, even to the detriment of your health. And they are doing a really good job. According to their advice, people in the Western world are eating better all the time, but we aren't getting healthier. Heart disease, cancer, and autoimmune diseases are all on the rise, and more children every year are diagnosed with brain and behavior problems like ADHD. It's almost like those children are being drugged. So, what is good to eat? Contrary to what you've been told, a lot more meat and animal fat. That's what we humans ate as we evolved, and it is still what our bodies need.